Hello, fellow musician. Welcome back to Samsol Music Hub. So a few weeks ago, I dropped a video breaking down the major skill modes in the simplest way possible, and many of you loved it. So today we're taking things a step further, and I'll be sharing with you two powerful frameworks that have helped me, as well as a lot of my students, not just to understand modes, but actually be able to use them while playing, composing, and improvising. So if you're new to modes, no worries, just watch this video first, then go check out the previous one for more practical examples. Alright, so let's get right to this. So for a quick recap, let's take a look at what a mode is. So a mode is a variation of a scale that starts on a different note that creates a tonal center and a different emotional flavor. Now let's take a look at the first framework. This framework is called the parent scale approach, and this approach is super beginner friendly. How it works is you take a major scale and treat each degree as the starting point of a mode. So for example, on the key of C major, C to C is the Ionian, D to D is the Dorian, E to A is the Phrygian, all the way to B, which is the Locrian. And though you're playing the same notes, the starting point changes, which also changes the emotional feel of each of the modes. Okay, so now practically let's take a look at how that works. Now on the key of C, we have the major scale of C, and this major scale of C is our parent scale, meaning that if we shift the starting position of the scale, let's say to the next available note, which is D, that gives us instantly a Dorian mode. If we shift it to the third note, which is E, that gives us instantly a Phrygian mode. Let's take it to the sixth note, which is A, and play the same notes available on the C major scale. That will give us a Aeolian. And if we keep on doing this, we're going to get a different mode. So that means all you need to know to be able to use this mode is the parent scale, the major scale of whatever key. If you repeat the same thing on any other key, you'll have the same results. Let's take the key of F sharp. So this is the major scale on F sharp, and right now, since we're on the key of F sharp is the parent scale. So starting from any other notes, let's say the fourth note, which is B, and playing the same exact notes will give us the B Lydian. Why? Because we're using the same exact notes that are available on the major scale of F sharp, right? So that means that each of the modes have their own tonal centers. So if you're on the A flat Dorian, for example, it means that this Dorian is like another key. It's not the A flat major scale, it's just a mode. And a mode is a variant of the parent scale, in this case, F sharp. So F sharp is the parent scale, and the other modes available are a variant of them. So this approach is awesome when you want to stay within a key, but explore different colors. It's also great for composing modal melodies or solos with a familiar scale. Now the next framework is the altered notes approach. And this one is a game changer for improvisation and fast switching between modes in any key. So instead of thinking about scale degrees, all you need to focus on is which notes to raise or which notes to flatten in order for you to get your desired mode. Okay, so for example, in the key of G, that's the key of G, and we know that the major scale is also known as the Ionian. Okay, so if from this scale we want to get a Mixolydian, all I need to think of is what notes within the major scale or within the Ionian do I need to reduce or increase to be able to get a Mixolydian. So in the case of Mixolydian, the seventh note has to be flattened. So if I flatten the seventh notes, I get a mixolydian. So this is the G mixolydian, and this is the G Ionian. If I have a natural seventh, it's Ionian, while if I flatten the seventh, it becomes a mixolydian. How about for the Lydian? So the Lydian has a raised fourth. So if I raise the fourth of any major scale, that gives me a Lydian sound. So this gives me G Lydian, because instead of this natural fourth, I raised this, I sharpened the fourth, which is C to C sharp. So that gives me the G Lydian. And for every other mode that you have, for example, the Dorian is just a natural minor with a flattened sixth. And for all the other modes, you just need to know what notes to raise, that is sharpen, or what notes to decrease, that is flatten, and that works perfectly well. Gives you speed of application. So which of these approaches is better, the parent scale or the altered notes approach? Honestly, both are very essential, because when you use the parent scale approach, you're exploring modes inside just one scale. But when you use the altered note approach, you're preparing yourself for real-time playing and improvisation, or jumping between keys very rapidly. So being able to use both approaches makes it really easy for modes to click for you. And that's a wrap for this week. Now you've got the two most practical and flexible ways to work with modes, the parent scale approach and the altered notes approach. Practice them, combine them, and create with them, because modes are powerful tools, not just for theory, but for real expression. So if this video helped you in any way, please like it. Also, subscribe to my channel for weekly tips and other tutorials. Also check the description for the link to my first modes video and the downloadable charts for modal chords and modes. In the next video, I'll share with you at least one song for each of the 7 modes, so watch out for that as well. Remember, music doesn't have to be complex to be beautiful. It just has to be real and intentional. So keep exploring and keep creating. This is Oluwaseyi, and I'll see you next week with another inspiring and practical lesson. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.